Welcome to A&B Horror Movies. I'm Aaron,
I'm Ben.
and we are
I'm
very
Jesus.
Jesus. We are very excited to be joined by Jesus today. Jsu Garcia, you are a actor, a director, a minister, a producer, an author. Gosh, what did I leave off the list? It sounds like you have worn many hats in your very impressive career.
Um, Geez, I'm working now on healing and helping a speaker.
A
Podcast.
speaker, okay. Add speaker to the list.
Because
Let's see.
only because I quit the acting and directing part. I'm needing to balance it.
You've retired, let's say, rather than quit, right? Put a
Right.
positive spin on
I've
it.
retired.
Exactly, Les. So you played Rod in the very first Nightmare on Elm Street. You were acting opposite Amanda Wyss, Heather Langenkamp, some guy named Johnny Depp. Um, that was my joke intro. And you also wrote two books: Dreams of a Master, and The Love of a Master. Which if we have
Yes,
time, we
sir.
can chat a little bit about that. Your filmography is beyond impressive. You've been in over 40 films. In addition to A Nightmare on Elm Street, we've got Collateral Damage, We Were Soldiers, Traffic, Candyman, Day of the Dead, Along Came Polly, Predator 2, Vampire in Brooklyn, Atlas Shrugged, and one of my favorites, Gotcha, just to name a few. And I've got to mention this too. You were in many TV series: Facts of Life, Murder She Wrote, Fame. What am I forgetting? Murder One, Crossing Jordan, Without a Trace. Beyond impressive. Quite a career you've had. And our channel is all about horror, so we'll probably mostly talk with you about A Nightmare on Elm Street, but maybe a few other movies and series will come up as well. Thank you so much for joining us today, Ben. I will stop talking and turn it over to you for the first question.
Um, Thank you for coming on, by the way. I suppose the first question would be, how did it come about for you to get the role on Nightmare on Elm Street? It was sort of the end of my rope kind of thing. The landscape, Reagan's president, that didn't mean anything, although I liked him. But it didn't mean anything for me. But I was broke. But had done in '82, I had done a TV series, one episode, which started me on Fame, '82. So literally 2 years, and I would put myself in acting classes. Peggy Fury, we're just all bohemian, starving actors. I don't know. I think I was renting a couch at some point. There was a actor's place called the Formosa. I'm laying out the landscape for you. The Formosa Hotel apartment. Actors that had a little bit more money could get the room. My buddy got the closet, and I got the couch. $30 a month,
Wow.
and then I was kind of just struggling, but still going to acting class, keeping the skills as best I could. It is a skill kind of thing. Although I don't really think Johnny Depp, the way Johnny came in was like amazing because he was like a musician and then got the role, you know. Yeah, So I was, so sometimes you're just natural. I thought Johnny was a natural, and then obviously he developed amazing skills that just hit the stratosphere out there. yeah, And I was still, learning everything. And then I think I was collecting unemployment, and I was going through the unemployment office, which is not far from where there's a famous street that everybody did movies. It's not far from Gower and Santa Monica where everybody auditioned, but it's kind of like the vaults of Hollywood are there, the vaults that hold movie films. Anyway,
Mm.
I had an audition. I was hit pocketed, which means they stopped doing it, but big agents from Morris, in particular, this one was hit pocketing me. Richard's agent, he was Mel Gibson's agent. At the time, Richard was going to explode on Officer and a Gentleman. If you remember that movie. yeah, yeah.
Yes. Oh, of course. Mhm.
He hit pocketed me, which means he's going to work with me but not sign me. I had no credit, and he gives me to J.J. Harris, who was Charlize Theron's agent. That
Oh,
girl.
yeah, I've heard of her.
She goes, "Hey, you have an audition, Nightmare on Elm Street." Nobody knew anything. Nobody knows anything. There's famous
Mhm.
stories of people not even knowing what Star Wars was like, and when they were auditioning for it, and when they got the script. So I got the script. I went in, and I was already frustrated and hungry. Everything that the character needed, I brought. So it required kind of no acting, although I thought, oh my, I'm going to really work on this. I think Wes Craven saw through me and gave me the role. And then he goes, stick around. The guy that's reading for the Johnny Depp role was kind of like a jock. So it's kind of like a jock and like a leather jacket dude fighting.
Yeah.
But then when Johnny
Yeah.
came in, he was just a very, not a jock type, very quiet, cute guy that we were all teenagers and everybody was awesome and beautiful and looking and 20-year-old. And then
Yeah.
uh,
Then
and then
then
he
things
got it.
change.
And then we
That's
all,
cool.
it was like that. And those can be the best auditions and the worst because when
Mhm.
someone gives you a role like that, you expect it to happen all the time. And it
Yeah.
doesn't. But it
Yes.
was 2 years of no work, auditioning, 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 gonna give up. I come in, Wes goes, "You're the guy." And that's happened to me probably 2, 3 times in my life where you are coming in with
Mhm.
your life junk. The producers go, "Oh my God, he's so right on." Well, he's right on because that's what's going on in my life. So that's how most actors get a role. They get a role when they come through the door. I mean, after
Yeah.
one of the skills that I really ended up loving is auditioning, actually. Skill, but it's a skill. It has nothing to do with acting.
No,
Seems like the stars aligned, right? Ben, what were you gonna
no, I was
Um,
just going to say it sort of sounds like
say?
maybe right time at the right place and it all came together for the
Yeah, for
best.
sure.
Yeah. 'Cause actually, I will say, when I first watched A Nightmare on Elm Street, I actually thought your character might be the one who survives like the whole thing. So I was like, oh, he's kind of an ass at the start, but he's going to end up being this really cool one. And I
yeah.
was quite
No,
sad at the outcome. Yeah.
it was,
If if
and
only. Yeah.
it was also the theater, the scene, the theater scene was amazing. Cinema. Now everything is a stream, and you watch it at home.
Mhm.
Yes.
So it was great to go to the theater and see, oh my God, that's the movie I'm in. Let me go check it out. And then you're
That's
like,
so
oh,
cool.
this is getting, wow, I'm in the back going, that's me. And then, you're seeing that it's something, but you don't know what it is until I don't, I really still, I'm still
Mhm.
amazed and surprised of the trajectory this movie franchise has done. But no one knew in the beginning when we were filming.
Yeah,
But
of course. And actually that leads right into my question is at what point did you realize that you were part of something really special and part of a franchise that has longevity and lots of fans?
when I was getting paid at probably residuals and getting paid doing conventions and
Mm.
horror cons. Because then I got feedback because I had already done all sorts of movies and moved on. But when I looked back, I was like, hey, I'll be honest, I needed money. And
Yeah.
when I look back, I'm like, what is that? What do they do? Oh my God. Oh shit. The father, the mother, the grandparents, they're all into Nightmare on Elm Street. I'm like, and the kids. And I'm like, what is this? And
Yes.
that's when I saw, and then I started to see Nightmare on Elm Street in books, like
Mhm.
collecting books or the 80s cult films. And then recently, what is it? Jordan Peele was on the Jimmy Kimmel show and kind of just said they did with top horror films. They put Nightmare on Elm Street on as number one. So I
Oh,
was like, oh wow, I'm part of. It was interesting. I don't get it. yet. Maybe I never will. I'm an extension. I'm part of something that is way ahead of me, and I have no idea, you know. I can't say I'm ahead of it. It's way ahead of me. Yeah, it's like, I mean,
And you're
look how,
just a
look,
part of it.
you guys are young cats, and then there's going to be younger, and then it's like, what's going on? It's like people, it's a psyche, it's a culture.
Mhm, mhm.
Yeah, definitely.
It's like its own, it's like its own planet.
Yeah,
You
yeah.
know?
I bet
Yes.
it's such a big surrounding of it. It's kind of like, and it just keeps growing as well. To be honest, it
Mhm.
uh,
Oh
when
yeah, and fans are waiting for that box set, the Nightmare on Elm Street
yeah,
4K box set, if we ever get that, and they're always asking for more, waiting for more Nightmare on Elm Street. We'll see
It's
what
a
happens.
40th anniversary, right?
Mhm. Yes, the
so
4K edition just came out. Correct. Go ahead, Ben.
when
I cut you off there.
when you was on set, I've got to ask because I believe, if I remember right, your character doesn't actually see Freddy. He just sees. Is that right, or does he? He does, doesn't he?
No, we never see him. He's a dream. He's a dream
Yeah.
phantom.
But what I was going to ask was, when you actually see Robert Englund in dressed as Freddy,
Oh,
how
I saw him
intimidating?
every day.
Yeah,
Yeah.
how intimidating was his costume like?
He's not intimidating. He or
Uh,
the cop. I mean, let's get real. But his character, when you know
Mhm.
when we're rolling, you're like, holy shit. You know, I wasn't. I'm not like an intellect like him. He's a very, first of all, accolades to him beyond before Nightmare on Elm Street. This guy's like Shakespeare actor, like
Mhm.
great. First of all, he's a great actor, and
Yes.
then the Nightmare on Elm Street kind of pigeonholed him, but he's beyond that. I knew that because that's what I saw at the makeup chair a lot. I didn't
yeah,
see like him. He was really developing the character in one.
yeah, yeah. Is
So
it oh,
two,
sorry.
3, 4, and then beyond, he's coming up with Terminator lines, that rhymed and shit like "I'll be back," whatever. I'm just saying that became the trend in the
Mhm.
80s to hit you with some lines. But Wes was very strict about the script and what was Wes doing. Once Wes was out of the picture, which is he's out after the first one, then I think the leader of that became, in my opinion, um, it really became all about Freddy, really.
Yeah,
And
Mhm.
he is the Jason. He is the monster in the box that everybody wants to. That's what makes the movies.
yeah.
But no,
Absolutely.
no, I was not intimidated. I'm intimidated more in the horror conventions when he's just sucking up all the audience, all the strangers. He's like
Yeah.
a vacuum cleaner. He sucks the oxygen out of the room, and you're like, what? You're signing 2, 3 autographs. He's got lines around the block.
It's
It must be
insane.
such
Yeah.
a cool feeling to know that you was in the original that started
Mhm.
everything. It's got to be such an awesome feeling.
Hey, I'm just a lucky, it's the stars align. I'm just a lucky guy. I praise God. I mean, I believe in God. I don't believe in God. I know God just based on my career. Um,
Mhm.
I shouldn't have been where I'm at. I did 70 credits, 40 films. There's no way unless
Mhm.
I was touched by, hey, you're gifted, go do this.
Mhm.
And I
Mhm.
could feel it. I can't say I did it by myself. Nobody does things by themselves. There's some angels because
Well,
it's go in there,
Helping you. Sure.
go ask them, socialize, network. Just the other day, you know, um, Kramer from um, Jerry Seinfeld's show.
Seinfeld. Seinfeld. Yes. Yeah.
The guy with the hair and everything.
The hair. Yeah.
I've been a fan of his before that when he was on Fridays. And you got to remember, actors are fans of other actors, at least for me.
Mhm.
I was in my head, I was like, man, and he went through a lot of shit. And I was like, man, I would really like to give him a hug and I'd like to see him, you know. And he was at the Palisades I saw the back of him and he was shopping and I went in. I'm like, hey, can I just give you a hug? I give him a hug and I'm like, I've been wanting to meet you. You know, I'm like, I didn't
And
really, I
how
just,
was he? Was he
he,
gracious?
he was the most gracious. No, you know, people like abandoned this guy and I was showing him some respect and love.
And
Everybody loves that. There's nobody that wouldn't. So I'm just saying, if you listen to that still small voice, it leads you to, not the one that says go kill someone. I'm saying the one that goes,
Yeah.
yes, let's not listen to that one.
let's not listen to that one. It's usually a very small voice and it whispers. Even Spielberg talks about it. It whispers, you know, amongst all the loud noise, and you got to be able to hear it that goes, hey, why don't you make a right turn here and give so and so a call? Oh my God, I knew you were calling me. Hey, we're doing a film, blah, 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 you know.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Yeah, meant to be. Um, Ben, did you have another question? Otherwise, I'll jump in.
Hey, you can go.
So I understand that you actually became friends with Wes Craven after working on A Nightmare on Elm Street. I
Yeah.
believe you played racquetball, if I remember correctly, together.
Oh,
Can you?
Wes is more intimidating because
He's
I,
intimidating. Okay. Yeah. Can you say a little bit about what
he's
it was
not,
like being his friend?
he's very quiet and he's got everything in his head and he holds his cards like this. So I always
Mhm.
had to like, you know, hustle him. You know, so I used to play racquetball forever, and I hustled him for. You got to remember, actors hustle. That's what we do. So you know, yeah, I'm your friend, but I want you to. It's very interesting because the I was friends with a lot of other directors and people, and they never gave you a job. And you could be friends with movie stars; they'll never give you a job. But Benicio was actually very nice that way. I did get stuff. Benicio pushed it, but Wes, I beat him beat him on racquetball. I felt bad, but I I beat him
And that
for
was the end, right? You never talked again after that. I'm joking.
probably. But you know, my teacher John Ryder used to say, "Always let the host win." So I lost a lot of games because I do live by that. If you get
Mm.
invited, this is a secret. If you get invited by someone and you're going to play a game, let them win. Do not beat them. This is not, this is not going to go very well for you. So I beat them, and then I got Vampire in Brooklyn. And then Vampire in Brooklyn, unfortunately, someone died on the set, and
Oh,
it bummed him out. But
Oh gosh.
we created something that was very nice, and then I traded a jacket to get the new Nightmare.
Yes.
I always had to hustle with him. He never, you know, he exploded with what was that? Dreams,
Scream.
Screams. So
Oh, in
Scream, the
yeah, Scream, of
basketball.
course.
You know,
Hmm.
he was
okay.
already at Warner Brothers. He had a producer, and I
Hmm.
didn't. You know, I was, you know, you can't keep chasing horror films. So yes, we maintained friends, but I wasn't going to be, you know, it's not like working for Chris Nolan because Chris Nolan jumps all over the place. But
Okay,
Wes is going to keep making horror films.
I see. Now, you said you traded a jacket. Is that the infamous jacket
Yeah,
from
the
A
leather
Nightmare on Elm
jacket.
Street?
Yeah.
Oh, you let it go. Ah,
Mhm. I think part of life is letting shit go. I can't. I don't have anything here of Nightmare on Elm
of
Street.
course.
Yeah.
Hmm.
That
Um,
would be, that that would be like you guys should collect it. I shouldn't be hanging on to shit.
Yeah,
that's
that'd
fair enough.
be cool to have. Cool to have. Go ahead, then.
I was going to say, obviously, putting Nightmare on Elm Street aside, have you got a favorite role you remember playing that isn't horror, maybe?
Well, I'll throw in Candyman 3. That was fun. That was, you know, Tony Todd just passed away, right?
Yes, very sad.
and he was a sweet dude. And then I was working with the Baywatch girl. I can't remember her name, but
Derico,
yeah,
is that
and
right?
sweet lady. And then I got to what I learned on that. You learn things in movies. I learned about the queen bee and bees and why people get stung, pheromone. And that's what they would do. They put the pheromone all over you, and these bees would be all over you. And that was
There
fun.
it
Yeah.
is. I found a copy. Day of the Dead right here.
And I live in that. I live through that one. I don't die, which is cool. And then,
Donna Derico. Yeah, I'll stop talking.
yeah,
Go ahead.
I didn't want to do, although horror films, they definitely make money for actors and blow them up again. Like you
Mhm.
can always tell the formula. Like when an actor's not a star is not doing so well, they'll go to a nightmare, they'll go to a horror film that kind of can pull them out. Ethan
Yeah.
Hawke saw him, and now that
Mhm.
anyway, there's a lot of horror films out there that brought back actors. It definitely
Yes.
made it definitely made me and Johnny Depp in a way that he gave me a script to another movie that would be the next movie that I would do. And of course, the rest is Johnny would do 21 Jump Street. But um,
Yeah, of
uh,
course.
I think my
Continue on.
favorite. I have a lot of. Along Came Polly is funny. I saw that.
Yeah, it's a
Um,
great one.
Ben Stiller and
What was that like? Was that fun? I mean, what's the vibe like on a comedy set compared to like a horror set?
it's probably the same shit. Everyone's laughing.
Same
Um,
thing.
because the Nightmare on Elm Street was all fucking hilarious. We were all grossed out by the blood, and then we
Okay.
were playing poker when they had the rotating room with
Yeah.
the stunt woman actually was doing the work, and then some with Amanda, and then blood was flying everywhere because you kept falling on take two, blood, and then um, I think we
So
had
it was fun, it sounds like.
it was great. We were spent time with Mimi Craven, Wes Craven's wife,
Mhm.
time, and we were adopted basically by the director and her, and we're just a bunch of kids. We're like
Yeah, of course. Mhm.
we're talking. I'm talking shit, and um, I had my own struggles, and I'm sure everyone else was. The movie the in between movies is the struggle. It's not when you're shooting. When you're shooting, it's hilarious. And the parties. I think
Mhm.
I mean, I think there were a lot of stuff that I think we shot in the Zoetrope Studios, which was the Desi Arnaz Studios, and there was
Cool.
a lot of great history. And is Bob Shea still alive?
I'm not sure.
Oh.
I don't know. I can look on my iPad. We can come back
I
to it.
mean,
I don't know.
to answer your question, there were many facets of my personality. When I wanted to be a serious actor, I would say the Andy Garcia Traffic, Steven Soderbergh movies. And then when I wanted to be funny and
Mhm.
ridiculous, I never wanted to be one. I knew about the psychology that acting can damage actors if you're not watching it, if you're not doing something else. So I
Okay,
knew that
okay.
if
Can you say more? Like if you're
sure,
playing a dark character and
you keep playing dark characters, you live in that. It's gonna be very hard. You'll be that. You'll be
Yeah.
dark.
Mhm. Mhm.
So
Yeah, I could see that.
remember, we're all touching on parts of ourselves to play that part. So
Mhm.
if you play something funny, like a comedy, a dancer, a singer, a revolutionary, a horror guy, uh, then you're sidestepping quite a bit. Sometimes I
Mhm.
watch, for instance, sometimes I watch um, the guy I just saw Deadpool.
Yeah,
Yes. Yeah.
He's just
Reynolds. Yeah,
he's so
Ryan
brilliant.
Reynolds. Yeah.
Ryan Reynolds, he's so brilliant, and Ryan Gosling. So they're like, sometimes I feel they're just tongue in cheek in it and then moving on.
yeah,
And
Yeah.
I don't really feel they're moving on. This is their fourth career. They're doing other things. And so I really don't see them getting damaged by it, but they're getting paid and then
Yeah.
they get to invest in other things and their families and their,
Hmm.
soccer.
Yeah. Ryan Reynolds bought soccer or football. Ben,
Right.
apologies. Bought a
yeah,
football team.
I think this keeps them
yeah.
busy in the world, so they're not taking
Mhm.
themselves serious.
And I think the team's doing pretty well, but we
Yeah,
digress.
it's about hour and a bit away from us, I believe, the football
Oh,
ground.
really? Oh, where are you at? Where do you live?
I live about an hour on a good run from London, hour maybe 45 minutes,
Up
and
by,
I'd say on a good run, probably about the same to Wales. But I believe it's for the benefit of Wales, it's done brilliant because they've had Will Ferrell and everybody sort of just turning up in pubs, local pubs and stuff. So yeah, it would
That's
be
cool.
quite good. Yeah,
yeah.
it's done good
No,
for the surroundings of the football as well. So I guess that's pretty good for them
well,
all.
I got educated. I didn't know that you can work your ranking up to be, if you're a champion in each tier, you can go all the way to the top.
Yeah.
Holy shit. That was like, no, my friend got me addicted to that show. So
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think just to finish up with that, yeah, it's important that you are involved in life and not take movies that serious. It really, we can all fall into everyone takes care of you. They do it with, what a great movie is, the Ryan Reynolds Fall Guy.
Yeah. That
Did
was fun. I did see that. Yeah. The
but that is,
stunt
it's not,
double.
it's not far from the
What you got
truth.
there? Yeah.
It's not far from the truth except for the murder thing. But the funny thing is how the star gets away with everything. He's got security and the
Yep.
money pays for everything, man. And
Yeah.
then
And let's. Yeah.
that
Go ahead.
spoils the crap out of you. And if that changes, you got to learn to deal with when you don't have that, that
Mhm.
when you're not number one anymore, and when
Yeah.
they don't want you anymore. So part of my experience in acting, which I love, is complete rejection. Like, to learn to master rejection. I had more rejections of not getting the part than getting the part. So if I have 40 films, I struck out thousands.
Yeah.
Mhm.
So so what it is you learn to become strong, forgiving, and you become a bigger person with adversity.
Yeah.
And I've been big films, bad films, up, down. And there used to be a
Of
thing
course.
called, if they send you the script, you're happening. And then they're not sending you scripts anymore. So you have to like really have a great attitude, man. So
Yeah. You
my
get
teacher
out
used
there.
to
Yeah.
say, go do something else. Oh, they're not writing me a script. Go write a script. Oh, but I'm not, go do it. So I learned not to be a victim because it's easy to be a victim of
Yeah.
anything, really. They're
Yeah.
doing
Sure.
it to me. Nobody's doing it to
Hmm.
you. So
Hmm.
to
Take control, right? And
you have to
not
take
dwell.
action.
Not
Yeah,
dwell. Take
take
action.
action.
Yeah. Sure.
Take action. Take action.
Yeah. That's great advice.
And
Yes.
you said it,
Um.
dwelling. Don't dwell on it.
Mhm. No regrets, except for one if he's misspelled a tattoo. Although that would be no regrets. I love that.
Oh, I love that movie.
Which one?
Where he
Oh yeah,
goes, check my
the
new
tattoo,
tattoo.
and it's misspelled. Yeah, it's so funny. All right, before we get to this or that, I've got to mention because I'm a huge fan of this. Gotcha was one of my favorite movies growing up in the '80s. Very nostalgic for me. What was it like working on that and working with Anthony Edwards? Um, one of my
I
favorites. He
I
deserves
love.
more attention.
Yeah, Anthony Edwards is such a funny dude and a talented guy. And then he did ER, but
Mhm.
he's much he's much more like Top Gun is Anthony Edwards.
Yes.
So
And Pet Cemetery 2, throwing in a horror movie he was in.
yeah, he I met him. So he did weird. What did he do? He did like a geek movie,
Um,
and that made him
was it
somebody.
Revenge of the Nerds? Was he in that?
Yes, yes, Revenge of the
Okay.
Nerds, and the same director ended up directing Gotcha. I got Gotcha with I forgot her name, but she was
Oh, I
in
forget her name too.
she was in MIB. Um,
Yes.
Linda
I can
Ferrantino.
picture.
Linda
Yes,
Ferrantino.
that's it.
She's
Mhm.
amazing. She's an amazing actress. And then I did when I did Gotcha. Yeah, man, Universal Picture green lit it. We were on our way, and it didn't do well.
Yeah.
And it did well in cable. Cable was blowing up, but
HBO had it on all the time back in the day.
that's one
That's
of
where I saw
my
it. Mhm.
yeah, that's one of those things where you think you're going to make it and then you don't. But then you get the next part. And then I kept,
Mm.
I went to Warner Brothers and did Wildcats, and then the system that gets to know you. And I kind of imploded myself out of the system to try to be individual, and that doesn't work. But
Mm.
the Gotcha was amazing movie. It was fucking hilarious.
I
Um,
love it.
God, what was the director's name? But Jeff, whatever his name is, he taught me working together with him was very improvisational. It was when I was learning my
Mm.
improvisational skills. He taught me a lot. Jeff Canoe.
Okay. I was just
Jeff
going to
Canoe.
look it up, but
Jeff Canoe was friends with Paul Mazursky. Jeff is like an amazing director. Um, we traveled all over the place, man. They went to East Berlin. I went to Rome, and Rome for vacation, but I went to Paris, and we were doing the Carlos, don't say nothing. Do you remember it? Shh, say no more.
yes, yeah. Oh,
Because he
it's been a while, but yeah, yeah.
all that stuff is improvisation. He asked me like, what would you say
Oh,
if you were like Carlos the terrorist and you were lying to a woman? What would you say to her? I would say, shh, say no more. Like, don't talk. Follow me. They're looking for us, and
and
that's
it
it.
worked, right? That's amazing.
And it's like it's a coming of age, two guys out of college trying to get
Mhm.
laid, and and
In Europe.
the famous actor from The Godfather, Mo Green character,
Mhm.
his name is playing Anthony Edwards' father.
Yes.
It was a
I need to I need to rewatch. It's been a number of years. Let's see. Why don't we do this or that?
this
Basically,
or
just
that.
ask you two things. You pick one or the other. Usually, it's a lot of fun. I'll go first. Vampires or zombies?
I'm gonna have to go with vampires.
Good choice.
So, Freddy or Jason?
I'm gonna get. I don't want to get mad emails. I'm gonna have to go Freddy.
Yeah, of course. Let's see. The Facts of Life or Murder, She Wrote?
I'm gonna have to go Facts of Life
Yeah, of course.
because that was an interesting thing. They were very good to me, and I got to meet George Clooney before he was George Clooney.
Yes. Yeah. Cool.
He's
Yeah,
a
I
good
remember
kid.
him on that. Yeah.
uh, tea or coffee?
When you say it like that, I would have to say tea and scones and clotted cream.
Okay.
Good one. Creature feature or viral outbreak?
I would have to go creature.
Okay.
Cool. Alien or Predator?
Ooh, I love the Predator sound. And I knew the original actor that played Predator, so I have to go Predator.
Fair
Cool.
enough.
He was in the Hendersons, the tall guy.
Yeah.
Oh, Harry and the Hendersons, the Sasquatch, right?
Yeah, yeah.
Oh, cool. I didn't know that. Let's see. John Carpenter or Stanley Kubrick?
Okay, I'm gonna have to go Dirty John Carpenter
Mhm,
because
mhm.
before I got into the Kubrick films, I saw Escape from New York, and I was like, forget about it. This guy's creepy, and also The Thing. So I'm gonna have to go
Yeah,
John Carpenter.
good choice. Yep.
RoboCop or Cyberdyne Systems Model 101?
The original RoboCop.
Yeah,
Yes.
Okay, RoboCop.
definitely.
Fair enough. Thriller or murder mystery?
I like Thriller,
Mhm.
Cool. Dawn of the Dead or Day of the Dead?
made by the same guy, right?
Yeah.
Romero, yeah, Romero, right?
So Dawn, I'd have to go the original, Dawn of the Day.
Mhm. And lastly, Jaws or Halloween 78?
Jaws, man. That scared the crap out of me. I still can't swim. I'm not going. I'm not going into murky waters. I'm not doing it.
Yes, yeah, good choice there. It's Ben's favorite movies. Yeah, excellent choice. You're in good company. All right,
And
let's see.
Jaws
Well,
was
this is go ahead.
no. Jaws was very. I saw it in Hollywood. It was big, and it was around the same time as the Towering Inferno. It was great.
Also
Yeah,
an amazing film.
Yeah.
that's a good one too. Let's see. Well, this has been incredible. Congrats on your career. It's so awesome that you're in the very first Nightmare on Elm Street. Let's see. Before we go, how can folks find you on social media
Oh yeah,
if you
I'm
want to
on.
be found? Go ahead.
Sure, I'm on Instagram. Spiritual Warriors.
Okay,
Cool.
excellent. And will you
So
be at any conventions coming up that you know
I
of?
haven't been invited. I haven't been invited. I'm like,
Oh,
I kind of, I travel, I move around pretty fast, and I don't know.
yeah. Well,
But I do
hopefully
sign.
that will
I do
change.
sign when I'm in the UK. I'll meet up with a. There's a kid called Kieran. He's from the UK, and he
Okay.
collects all the items, and we meet somewhere, and I sign.
All right,
If
cool.
so, yeah, that is cool. If someone watching wanted to get your autograph,
Yeah,
should they
let me
follow
give
you
you
on
his number.
Instagram?
Yeah, and then I can pass it on. I can pass it
Okay.
on. Like every now and then I get an occasional, hey, can I get an autograph? And I'm like, yeah. So here's where you send it to, and all that.
Yep. Yeah. Okay.
Oh,
We can put that in the summary, the description.
And
Yes. Help you
anytime
out.
you guys want to hook up, I'm here.
Yeah.
amazing.
Cool. Yeah.
Thank you
Yeah.
very
This
much.
is fantastic. Ben, do you
Good
want to
meeting
do
you,
the
man.
closing?
Yeah. Last thing, thank you for coming on. You've been an absolute gen. And if you want to find us, go to Instagram at A&B Horror Movies. If you already watch us on YouTube, thank you. And if you don't, follow us, like the channel, and hit the likes. And thank you for watching.
Thank you.
Thank you. And it's A and B, right?
A&B,
A&B
yeah.
horror movie. Yes.
Okay.
All right. Awesome. Thank you for joining us. Bye, everyone.
Love you. Take care.